Christy, the Gen X Gypsy, and welcome. Today's video is the third in a series about having an epic road trip. In today's video, we are going to be packing the car. Let's get going. So the first thing you have to do before you can pack your car is clean it out. If you haven't had a chance to check out part 2 of the Epic Road Trip series, which is how to prepare for a road trip, I will link that up here. One thing I like to have close at hand when I'm driving down the road is a tote bag full of what I consider essentials. In my essentials bag, I have a roll of paper towels. I have a roll of toilet paper, because you never know. In this day and age, I have a packet of disposable face masks, wet wipes, hand sanitizer. I carry a couple of these Chico grocery bags, and I have these pretty much in my car all the time, but when I'm doing a road trip, I will keep them in my essentials bag. These are awesome because they open up to a nice big grocery bag. Ta-da! And these things hold so much more than you think that they will. It'll probably hold more weight than you actually want to carry. In addition to groceries, you could use these for your dirty laundry, or you can use these as your tote bag that you carry your clothes in and out of your hotel room instead of taking a whole suitcase in. Lots of uses for these. I take along some Ziploc bags just in case, you have like snacks that the bags open and they don't have any closure, or inevitably they get ripped open and they're spilling all over the place. Also, if you go to a restaurant and you have leftovers and they don't really have anything good that they give you the leftovers wrapped in foil or something, it's just nice to have Ziploc bags with you. With that being said, I also like to carry some disposable dinnerware and utensils with me in case we're going to have like dinner in a hotel room or wherever we may be staying that night. Obviously, if you're in an RV, you probably have your own dishes and such. This is more for if you're doing a hotel motel type of road trip. It's nice to have extra disposable plates and utensils with you. I'll break these down and put just a few into a bigger Ziploc bag to carry with me, because obviously I don't need this whole set to go along with me on a road trip. The nice thing about these bamboo plates are not only can you reuse them for a while, but once you're ready to dispose of them, they are compostable, so good for the environment. Yay! And then the last thing I'm going to put into my essentials bag is the folder that has my itinerary of my trip, including all of the places that I'm staying, the addresses and the phone numbers, just in case cell phone service is sketchy and you can't get your data services to work for your Google Maps when you're getting close to your destination. It's nice to have everything hard copy, so maybe you have to look things up the old-fashioned way. Additional items you might consider putting in your tote are an umbrella and or some of those inexpensive ponchos that you can get at the dollar store. I don't actually own an umbrella because after living in Oregon for 25 years, you just learn to have coats that have hoods and you don't worry about trying to carry an umbrella around everywhere you go. So I don't have an umbrella and I don't really have any ponchos because, again, I have raincoats. But if you do have an umbrella, I would suggest going ahead and putting it in your essentials bag. I am of the belief that if you are prepared for the bad things, then the bad things won't happen. That is my positive outlook on how to travel. When I'm packing up the car, I like to use these tote bags to carry my stuff in, because that way you're not having to lug a suitcase in and out of a hotel or motel every night. You can just pull the things out of the tote bag and put them in a smaller tote, like one of the Chico bags that I carry with me, and then just carry that into the hotel room with you instead of having to lug your entire suitcase with you. It's also a great idea to carry a lot of water with you, especially if you're traveling in the summertime. Having a throw blanket and a couple of these Turkish towels along with you can be nice to have, especially if you end up somewhere where it's a little cooler than it's supposed to be, or you end up going swimming or needing to take a shower, or maybe you just want to use it as a skirt. These Turkish towels can be used for so many things. I would suggest throwing one in. Let's go pack the front of the car. Like I said before, I like to have my essentials bag really close to me, so behind the passenger seat is the perfect spot for it. The other thing I want to be able to grab quickly is my really good camera in case we spot wildlife along the way or anything interesting that I want to take a picture of. I'll also have my GoPro really close to me. Depending on who's traveling with us, it'll go somewhere here in the center. I always have this awesome garbage can that I've had for years that sits right back here, and it's got lots of space so that we have a place to throw our garbage while we're traveling. And that goes right there. One of the most important things to consider when you're packing for your road trip is the snacks that you're going to bring along. So I have my snack bag here, and I love this little bag.
Are you ready for an adventure?
Now in my snack bag I have a variety of different things, but one of my favorite things that reminds me of all of my childhood road trips are these Lance's crackers. Who else out there remembers going on trips with their families and always having the Lance's, especially the peanut butter crackers along? Let me know, because I still love these. I don't know, maybe it's a nostalgia thing. I really like to take those on every road trip I go on. Otherwise, I just have a variety of chips and granola and some protein bars and nuts, a whole variety of stuff, along with maybe some carrots and fruit that I have in the cooler here with me. So I'll keep those up close so that they're easy to get while we're driving down the road. In addition to the items in the emergency kit, I carry a couple of things that I have in my car at all times in case of emergencies. I have just a simple first aid kit that I believe I picked this up at REI several years ago, but I will see if I can find something on Amazon that is similar. And this is just your basic Band-Aids, a little bit of Advil. It's not quite as extensive as my emergency medical kit that I put together, and if you haven't seen that video, I will link that up there as well. It's just kind of your basics. So I have that kit. In addition to that kit, I have an emergency foil blanket for extreme weather conditions if you get caught out in a snowstorm or something like that. This was more when I was living in Portland and I was doing a lot of hiking and traveling during cold winter months. Not needed as much down here in North Carolina. And right now in the middle of July, it seems ridiculous to talk about something like this, but it's a good thing to have in the car just in case. And the last thing I always carry with me is this little kit that I'm not even sure where this came from. Somebody got it as like a giveaway for a hotel or I don't even remember, but it's got socks, it's got an eye mask, it's got little hotties, got some lotion. Oh, I think it came from Delta. Oh, I think I might have gotten this when I flew first class for Delta. Totally forgot about this. It's got some shoe polish, earplugs. It's just a variety of things that I thought, well, if I got stuck out somewhere and I really needed to have something, it was nice to have in the car. So if you happen to have anything like that, throw it in your car, just for emergencies. I don't know if you saw when I was cleaning out my glove compartment, I also have an extra pair of gloves and an extra pair of socks in there. Again, from back in the days when I was living in Oregon, it was a little cooler and the possibility of getting stuck somewhere where it was cold, which if you're doing a road trip somewhere where it's cold, that could be a possibility. I was in my car a lot as a real estate agent, and I just thought it was necessary to keep some of those items in the car in case something happened. I think it's just the Girl Scout in me, always wanting to be prepared. Now in the front seat, in addition to whoever might be traveling with me, there are a few things that I like to have up front with me. One of those things I don't necessarily and hopefully don't ever have to pull out while I am traveling is an envelope that I keep my registration and my insurance card in here, as well as a copy of my insurance policy, just in case I need to be able to look at it while we're on the road. Again, I like to be prepared for the unfortunate incidences, and that way I feel like if I'm prepared for them, hopefully they're not going to happen. But I put this envelope in the glove compartment so I know where it is at all times. The other thing I have up front with me are my electronics. For a trip like this, I don't really need to carry much up front. I do have my charging cables for my iPhone and for all of my other little things. I have a couple of extra cigarette lighter charger, USB chargers, my portable battery pack that I carry with me pretty much everywhere. And I like to keep that in a clear bag so it's easier to see what's in there and what you're trying to grab out of here. And I'll put that in my glove compartment. One last little thing that I have up here, if you happen to have a car that is pre-Bluetooth capability and you do have a cassette player, if you get one of these, it allows you to play your Bluetooth through your cassette player. So if I wanted to listen to a podcast on my phone, I'd be able to hook it up to the cassette and it'll play it out of the car's speakers instead of just having to listen to it on my phone. It is fantastic because my car is just 1 or 2 years too old to be able to connect to my phone. So this has been a lifesaver on long trips. And I will link all of these items below, of course, so if you want to check any of them out, you can do so. The last thing I like to do is to take $20 to $40 to $60 and put it in an envelope and then put it somewhere really secret in the car so that you have an emergency stash of cash in case you need it. Now don't just throw this in the glove compartment because that's the first place somebody is going to look for if they break into your car. Put it in the last place that you think anybody would look for money in your car. So I wouldn't put it in your jackets, I wouldn't put it in your camera case, I wouldn't put it in your suitcases or with your clothes. I would find somewhere else. I have a particular spot that I put my cash stash in, but I'm not going to say what that is on the internet. Just find a great secret place for your stash.
But don't forget where it is.
Maybe put a note to yourself in your phone to remind you where you've stashed your cash. You know, us in menopause, sometimes we're a little forgetful. Whew. That was a lot. I hope that you have found this how to pack for an epic road trip helpful. If you haven't had a chance to check out the other 2 videos in this series, I will link them below and I will also have them at the end of this video. Let me know what you packed for your road trip that might be a little unusual or something that I forgot to include in my packing list, which I know there are a few things that I forgot. So let me know in the comments below. The next video coming out in this series is a video on tips and tricks that you can use while you are on your road trip. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell if you want to be notified when that video comes out. And while you're there, you may as well give this video a like. They are free. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. How many times can I say emergency?